Good morning, students. Today, in this session of class, I'm going to explain about photoelectric effect, especially with the help of experimental arrangements. Let us discuss about the effect called photoelectric effect. See, photoelectric effect, the definition of photoelectric effect we already discussed in the previous video. I want to repeat the definition once again. I want to recall that. When a light of suitable frequency is made to incident on a metal, the electrons are emitted from the metal surface. This phenomenon of emission of the electrons from the metal surface is called photoelectric effect. So this was unexpectedly observed by Hertz while conducting the experiment on the production of electromagnetic waves. But later on, two famous scientists, Halwatz and Leonard, has observed these photoelectric effect in different methods. So today, I am going to explain the experimental method for the study of photoelectric effect. So experimental study of photoelectric effect. Experimental study of photoelectric effect. So to understand photoelectric effect, so we need to consider a evacuated glass chamber. So this is what the evacuated glass chamber. It is tube-like structure. It's a closed tube. We have to maintain evacuation inside this. And this tube is provided with quartz window. So this is the region where the quartz is placed, because quartz is a transparent material which can allow a light to pass through them or radiation to pass through them. So this is the region inside the chamber. A photosensitive material is placed. So this region, let us consider this as the photosensitive metal. So it is a emitter plate P. So with certain distance at the other end of the tube, let us consider another plate. So this is the collector plate C and provided with a terminal A. These two plates are connected with a battery. So that arrangement is important here. So to connect the battery or a potential difference, so let us take a connecting wire which can help to connect the plates P and C. So this is what electrical connections. One end is connected to terminal like this. So this is what the other end. Let us take this point. So let us take the 4 terminal points here. I'll take the jump and connect it to the other end. So like this. And these two ends are connected with the here in series microammeter is connected to measure the photoelectric current. So parallel to this, a voltmeter is connected which can help to measure the potential difference. To vary the potential difference, a rheostat is connected. So this is the region where the rheostat is connected. It is a device used to vary the current, rheostat. So parallel to this, a potential is connected. Battery, I can say. Clear? So this is called commutator. This is called commutator, which can be helps to change the polarity. So initially, this plate P is connected to negative potential and this plate C is connected to positive potential. So I want to repeat the arrangements. So experimental study of photoelectric effect. Here the experimental arrangement is as shown in the figure. So which consists of a evacuated glass chamber provided with a quartz window. Quartz window. This is what a quartz window. Quartz window. And this is a plate, photosensitive plate, right? And this one is a collector plate. So these two are metal plates. So on the photosensitive plate, a photosensitive material like zinc, cadmium, copper, these photosensitive materials are coated on the surface of the plate. Now, in the experimental part, when a light of suitable frequency is made to incident on this photosensitive plate, electrons are ejected. So that phenomenon of light is called photoelectric effect, you know that. So now these electrons starts moving towards the cathode, collector plate, I can say. So when these electrons starts moving the collector plate, so why the electrons can move from here to here? Because we have maintained positive potential here. With the help of this battery, we have maintained positive potential. Electrons are negatively charges and this plate is provided with positive potential. It can attract. Since it is completely evacuated place, when the electrons comes out from the metal surface due to the incident radiation. So this is the source of light. So when the light is made to incident on this plate, photosensitive plates, electrons are ejected. The ejected electrons are attracted by this collector plate. So with the help of this potential difference or a battery. So this is what rheostat and this is a battery, voltmeter, current meter. So this current meter can shows the photoelectric current. This voltmeter can shows how much the potential has been supplied. Now, so with this arrangement, we have to study about 4 things here. So variation of photoelectric current with the following 4 parameters. So that is very important. The first one is, so when a light of suitable frequency is made to incident on the metal plate, so electrons are ejected. So when these electrons can reach the collector plate, so there is a closed path here. So when the collector plate will receive the electron, there is a flow of charges through this circuit. So when there is a flow of charges, that is what we call them as electric current. So here the current is because of the emission of electrons from the metal surface with the light of suitable frequency. So that particular current, what we call them as photoelectric current. Now how this photoelectric current vary with, first one, the intensity of light. Intensity of light. So whatever the light we are using, if you vary the intensity, then how the photoelectric current can be varied, that can be studied with this arrangement. So how to vary the intensity, that is also important. You know about intensity. Intensity means concentration of light, we can say. See, suppose if you are close to the source, the intensity is more. If you are far away from the source, the intensity is less. So like that, if you place the source close to the quartz window, intensity goes on increases. If you place the source away from the quartz window, intensity goes on decreases. Like this, one can vary the intensity. So I will explain how the intensity can vary with photoelectric current. Second one, so with the same experimental arrangement, So variation of photoelectric current with the frequency of incident light. So how to vary the frequency? So frequency means the energy. Frequency means the energy. So to vary the frequency, we have to use the different colors. So frequency and wavelength are interrelated. Higher frequency means higher energy. It means shorter wavelength. Lower frequency means lower energy. It means longer wavelength. For example, if I consider VIBGAYA. So violet is the shortest wavelength. Red is the longest wavelength. So those radiations have longer wavelength should have the lesser energy because the frequency is lower. It means lower or lesser frequency. Here it is higher frequency. So that's why. So when wavelength decreases, frequency increases, the energy is also increases. Like this, if I want to vary the frequency, we can vary the color. For different colors, they have different frequency. So in this region, violet is having higher frequency, so they have higher energy because they have shorter wavelength. So red is having longer wavelength, they have the lesser frequency, they have lesser energy. So like this, if I want to vary the frequency, how to vary the frequency? Just taking the different color sheets here, transparent color sheets. So color red is having some other frequency compared to violet. For different colors, we'll have different frequency. Then how to vary the frequency? Just by taking the different colors papers for the in front of the source. So how to vary the intensity? By placing the source to the window for different positions. So when it is moved far away, intensity decreases. When the source is moved close to the observer or close to this quartz window, intensity increases like this. So this is the second method. So with the help of this experimental arrangement, so we are going to study how the frequency of light can affect the photoelectric current. So photoelectric current can be varied according to some parameters related to frequency of light. And the third one is variation of photoelectric current with the potential difference. So whatever the potential difference we are going to apply, so that can also varies the photoelectric current, right? So if you vary the potential difference, if you increase the voltage here, positive potential, the movement of electron can also be increases from here to here. Then the photoelectric current can also be varied. So I will explain later how the variation of photoelectric current depends on potential difference applied between the this one is emitter plate and this one is collector plate. If we vary the potential difference between emitter plate and collector plate, then the variation of photoelectric current can also be studied by the same experimental arrangement. And the last one is, so this is for different potential difference. So finally, we will go for different photosensitive materials. So first I will take copper and then I will take zinc. So these two are sensitive for ultraviolet radiations. So if I go for ordinary light, so there we have to use alkali metals like sodium, rubidium, lithium. So like this, we are going to use the different metals. All alkali metals are sensible for visible light. Zinc, cadmium are sensible for the ultraviolet radiations. So if I take the different materials, then how the photoelectric current can be varied, that can be also studied by the same experimental arrangement. That's why I take for different materials. It means for different photosensitive materials, how the photoelectric current can be varied. So just I want to conclude this experimental arrangements. So the experimental arrangements are made as shown in the figure. So which consists of a evacuated glass chamber provided with quartz window. So inside the glass chamber, there are two plates. First one is emitter plate. So emitter plate is a photosensitive, that's why I'll name it as P. And collector plate is a metal which can be a receiver. So the emitter plate is connected with a negative potential and a collector plate is connected with a positive potential across this commutator. So commutator is a device which can be used to change the polarity. So polarity means, so if you connect these two wires, so one side of flow of current. So for example, now this is negative and this one is positive. If you interchange this position, if you connect like this, current direction changes. It means this will become positive, negative, and this will become positive. Like this, the commutator function is to change the polarity between positive and negative, or between emitter plate and collector plate potential. So that is the function. So the thing is, if I want to vary the potential difference, so if I want positive, collector potential, so collector forward potential, so collector has to be positive, and with respect to emitter it has been negative. If I want to change the polarity, just we can change the position of interchange by using collector position. By using commutator, if you change, if this has a negative potential and this has a positive potential, that is what we call them as a reverse potential. So reverse means it is a stopping potential. I will explain that one also later. Okay, this is just an experimental study of photoelectric effect. So it can clearly says that when a light of suitable frequency is made to incident on the photosensitive metal, the electrons are emitted. The emitted electrons are attracted by the collector plate, and so to confirm if there is a movement of electron from here to here, so this current can confirm that. So if photoelectric current is higher, then there is a higher number of emission of electrons. So that is the meaning of this. If photoelectric current increases, it means the concentration of emission of electron is also increases. That is the meaning. Clear now? So in the examination, so this is a 5 marks important question. So the question will be direct question. Explain the experimental study of photoelectric effect. You have to write this diagram and explain how the construction and how the variations can be considered. So here in this experiment, we have to study variation of photoelectric current with intensity. Second one is frequency of incident light. And the third one is potential difference. And the last one is how the photoelectric current varies with different photosensitive materials. So these are all the 4 parameters we are going to study in this experiment. So clear now? Now let us move on to the next part, the variation of photoelectric current with intensity. So I already told how to vary the intensity, just by changing the position of source with respect to quartz window. So if it is closed, intensity increases. If it is moving away, intensity decreases. So that is the thing, you know, that if you are very close to the fire, you can feel more heat. If you are move away from the fire, you can feel less heat. It means you are lesser intensity if you are away from the source, like this. Isn't it? Same thing here also. So to explain intensity, the source position can be changed. To explain frequency, we have to use the different colored sheet. So then it can change the frequency. Clear now? Now, how to vary the potential difference? By using the variable battery. Here we are using variable battery. If you change the potential difference, then the collector and emitter potential can increases or decreases by using this variable battery. So I will explain all the things one by one. So let us consider the first thing. The first one is variation of photoelectric current with intensity of light. So first one, variation of photoelectric current with intensity of light. See, if intensity of light increases, this is what the variation I want to represent. So here I will consider the photoelectric current along x-axis. Along y-axis, I will consider intensity. Intensity is nothing but concentration of light. So when photoelectric current increases, intensity of light increases, the photoelectric current is also increases. That is the experimental observation they have made. So when intensity increases, the photoelectric current is also increases like this. So it means, so this is the first observation what he had made. When the intensity of light goes on increases, the photoelectric current is also increases. So the variation between these two is linear variation. It means I can say is that when photoelectric current increases linearly, the photoelectric intensity is also increases linearly. So indirectly we can say that, so when intensity of light increases linearly, the photoelectric current is also increases. So linearly as shown in the graph, isn't it? So it means the meaning of this one is when the intensity of light increases, the number of emitted electrons is also increases. So the photoelectric current increases because the photoelectric current is directly proportional to number of electrons. When number of electrons increases, so how the number of electrons increases? If the intensity increases, the emitted electrons is also increases. The photoelectric current increases linearly. So this is the first observation, experimental observation. Second experimental observation is variation of photoelectric current with frequency and potential difference parallel I will take. So parallel I want to explain this, so then you will come easy, you can easily understand that. Third one. See, the second one is variation of frequency with the photoelectric current. The third one is variation of photoelectric current with potential difference. So for that I will take two graphs here. So this is very important thing. If you understand this one, you can clearly understand the photoelectric effect. So let us consider, so this is the variation. Here along x-axis I will consider the frequency or potential difference I will take. So potential difference, this is collector potential difference. Same thing here also, collector potential difference. Collector potential difference is, collector is positive, emitter is negative. Here from here onwards, it means along negative x-axis, you have to take the reverse of that. Reverse of that means collector will become the negative, the emitter will become positive. That time the electron movement will be stopped. So now what happens here, I will consider this is retarding potential. Retarding means reverse, opposite to that. Retarding, you know that retarding potential difference. So retarding potential difference means just we have changed the positive to negative and negative to positive. See here between this is what the photosensitive emitter and this is what collector. If this is positive and this one is negative, it is collector potential difference. Collector potential difference. If this one is positive and this one is negative, what happens? The electrons are emitted here. So electrons are negative, this potential is also negative, and this collector can stop the movement of electrons. So when you change the polarity of collector and emitter, clear now? If you consider the collector plate as a negative, now the movement of electron will stop. So if the electron does not reach, because it is negative and the electron is also negative, there is a repulsion between like charges. And if there is no movement of electrons, when the electrons does not reach this collector, then there is no photoelectric current, isn't it? Like this we can explain. So come to this point. Clear now? Now what we have taken? Along positive x-axis, collector potential difference. Along negative x-axis, we have to take the retarding potential difference. Means reverse. So now what happens? If I consider, so at this is about the photoelectric current. So we have to consider photoelectric current along y-axis. So photoelectric current I will consider photoelectric current I. Now, if the collector potential difference increases, now how the photoelectric current can be studied? So before that, to understand the photoelectric effect, there should be two definitions. One is work function, another one is threshold frequency. Another one is threshold frequency. Here, to understand the variation between collector and photoelectric current and the potential difference. So photoelectric current versus potential difference. Here, two parameters we have to consider. One is, so constant intensity I will take in both the cases, or I will take the variation of intensity and frequency. Here I will consider at constant frequency. I will consider constant frequency. So frequency nu is constant. Intensity I is variable. Intensity is variable. Here I will consider reverse case. So reverse case means here I will consider intensity is variable, frequency is constant. Here I will consider frequency is constant. I will consider frequency is variable, and I is constant. Here I is variable, frequency is constant. Okay. Say at constant frequency, if I consider any intensity, if you increase the collector potential difference, photoelectric current increases initially like this. Photoelectric current increases. So up to certain extent the photoelectric current increases. After that, if you increase the collector potential difference, it does not increase it, it remains saturated or constant. So up to certain extent, if you increase the collector potential difference, the photoelectric current increases initially and becomes constant. So that constant thing, what we call them as saturate. So this is for the intensity of I1, first set of intensity. Now if we increase the intensity, so the photoelectric current increases beginning itself for zero collector potential difference. So why for zero collector potential difference? If this is a emitter plate or potential or plate where the photosensitive material is connected, and this is collector plate. So when the photosensitive radiation incident, the electrons are emitted. So certain electrons are emitted with higher energy. So with zero potential difference also they can reach. But certain electrons will emitted with lesser energy. For to absorb these electrons from here to here with positive potential, we have to apply potential difference here. This is positive and this one is negative. To move the electron from here to here, we have to supply a positive potential. If the voltage increases, the collector potential increases, the emitted electrons will be received. If all the electrons will completely absorbed by the collector, so then the photoelectric current becomes constant. Further, photoelectric current does not increase. That's why once if you increase the collector potential from 0 to the next value, so up to 0, here for zero collector potential difference, there is no zero current, because certain electrons can ability to reach from here to here without the external energy. But certain electrons are not able to move from here to here because that energy is not sufficient to reach from here to here. To collect the electrons, we have to supply an external energy as a potential difference. Now what happens for the next setup? If intensity increases, I will consider I1 is the lower intensity. If intensity increases, so again if we increase the collector potential, the intensity, initially the current increases, then again it becomes saturated, constant. So I will consider another set of intensity, I3, this is for I2. Again same thing happens, increases initially and finally it becomes constant. Clear now? So if the intensity of light increases, the saturation current is increases. So this is the saturation current region. From here to here it is saturated. Saturation current for I1. This is the saturation current for I2. This is the saturation current for I3. Saturated. Saturation current. Saturation means constant. For I1, for I2, for I3. Next what happens? If you reverse the polarity. Reverse the polarity means collector become negative and the emitter become positive. Now the electrons, if it is completely become negative, this can oppose the movement of electron. But still with 0, some electrons can reach because they have sufficient energy to escape, and that energy can reach the electron from here to here without the external energy. Now what happens? To stop the movement of electrons from here to here, we have to increase this from positive to negative in the reverse direction. If you increase the collector potential in the negative direction, so that when energy increases, the higher energy electrons goes on stopped to reach from here to here. At a particular voltage, all the electrons will completely stop by this collector plate potential, isn't it? So negative potential, and the photoelectric current microns completely become zero. So now what happens? If we increase the negative potential, that is retarding potential. Negative potential is nothing but retarding potential. So what happens here? Current goes on decreases. Actually already for zero potential, current is here up to a certain value here from here to here. When the reverse current goes on increases, it means retarding potential increases, retarding potential difference increases. What happens? This current goes on decreases. Finally it becomes zero. So this particular retarding potential where the photoelectric current completely becomes zero, this is called stopping potential. So what is that? Stopping potential. So very important definition. So retarding potential at which the photoelectric current completely becomes zero is called stopping potential. It is a retarding potential or negative potential difference. Now for the second intensity I2, here I1 is greater than I2 is greater than I3. So when intensity increases, the saturation current increases. But I want to check the stopping potential, how the stopping potential can vary. Again for the second set, if you increase the retarding potential, you know that the photoelectric current decreases, like this photoelectric current decreases. So finally, for the same potential difference or for the same stopping potential, for second intensity also, the stopping potential will become same value. Stopping potential does not changes. Same thing here also. If you increase the negative potential at a particular potential where the stopping potential we can name, the photoelectric current completely becomes zero. So here what we are observing, if the intensity of the light increases, saturation current is also increases. So this clearly says that intensity of light is directly proportional to saturation current. Saturation current. Saturation current. But the stopping potential is independent of intensity of light. That is the thing we are observing. So this is the second experimental observation they have made. See, what is the first experimental observation? When the intensity of light increases, the photoelectric current increases linearly. Second observation what they have made? So when the intensity of light increases, saturation current increases linearly. Saturation current also increases. But the stopping potential is independent of intensity of light. Isn't it? Here we have considered frequency as constant throughout this experiment. Next, I will change the frequency, but I will keep the intensity as constant. How the variation between collector current and collector potential difference and the photoelectric current can vary. Now the thing is, we have kept intensity as constant. This is very important. Here which one we have kept constant? Frequency has kept constant. Now at a particular intensity, here at a particular frequency, the frequency is fixed. So that frequency should be above the threshold frequency. Above the threshold frequency. If it is above the threshold frequency, then only there is a photoelectric effect. It means what is threshold frequency? There is a minimum frequency of light below which there is no photoelectric effect, above which there is a photoelectric effect. So that minimum frequency is called threshold frequency. Now here, above threshold frequency we will consider. So I is a constant. I is a constant. It means intensity remains constant. See, now at zero potential difference there is some current here. So there is some current. So now what happens? If we increase the collector potential difference, as usual, current increases initially and finally it becomes saturated. Again, if you increase the collector potential difference, there is no increase of photoelectric current because all the electrons which are already emitted will received by the collector and there is no electrons further emission. That's why. So these electrons can continuously circulating here causes photoelectric current, constant photoelectric current. If number of electrons increases, photoelectric current increases. But here we are increasing at constant intensity. Since the intensity is constant, just we are increasing the frequency, right? So if you increase the frequency, what happens? So this is for a frequency nu1 and this is for frequency nu2 and this is for frequency nu3 I will consider. So 3 frequencies I will consider, nu1, nu2, nu3. Initially, so they will increase and become saturated. Increase and become saturated. See what we are observing? If we take any frequency, saturation current does not changes. It is constant. It is constant. So if the intensity is constant, if we vary the frequency, the saturation current does not depends on the frequency. But what happens if you decrease the if you want to decrease the photoelectric current, we have to increase the negative potential difference or retarding potential difference. Now what happens? So for the lower frequency, so the saturation point, so what we call them as stopping potential. So stopping potential is a potential difference at which the photoelectric current completely becomes zero. So when the retarding potential increases in the reverse direction, what happens? Saturation current, the photoelectric current goes on, decreases, finally it becomes zero. So this is the point where the photoelectric current is zero. So it means this point is called stopping potential. So this is the stopping potential for the frequency nu1. For the next frequency, the stopping potential goes on increases like this. So if the frequency is further increased, the stopping potential is also increased. Stopping potential is increased here. So like this. Finally it will reach. So this is for the stopping potential V1 for nu1, V2 for nu2, V3 for nu1, nu3. So this is nu1 and this is for nu2 and this is for nu3. So I will take in the reverse direction. nu1, nu2, nu3. If frequency increases, it is independent of saturation current. It means saturation current does not depend on frequency. But the stopping potential depends on frequency. So this is the third observation we have done experimentally, or we observed in the experimental method. So I want to repeat these concepts once again because this is very, very important concept. See what happens here? When intensity increases, the photoelectric current increases linearly as shown in the first graph. In the second graph, at constant frequency, if we vary the collector potential difference and photoelectric current, so this is what the observation. See for intensity I1, this is the saturation current. When intensity increases, the saturation current is also increases. So from here to here it is saturation current. This is the second saturation current. This is the third saturation current. If intensity increases, saturation current is also increases. But the stopping potential is independent of saturation current. So I is directly proportional to saturation current. I means intensity of light is directly proportional to saturation current. But retarding potential is independent of, so retarding potential, or we can say stopping potential. Stopping potential is independent of what? Intensity. So you have to remember this. Here in this graph, what happens? If you keep intensity as constant, if you vary the frequency, for different frequencies we are getting different stopping potential, but for all the frequency, saturation current remains constant. This is saturation current. Saturation current. Clear now? So if we take any frequency, saturation current remains constant. For different frequency, the stopping potential is different. Here, If you keep frequency as constant, if you vary the intensity, saturation current increases linearly, but the stopping potential V naught remains constant. So these things are very important. So without confusion, you have to understand. So because I will repeat that, I want to repeat that once again. Intensity is linearly proportional to photoelectric current, or photoelectric current is linearly proportional, directly proportional to intensity. Second one is saturation current is directly proportional to intensity at constant frequency. This one, stopping potential is independent of intensity. Here, at constant intensity, retarding potential, I mean the stopping potential is directly proportional to frequency, but it is independent of saturation current. Clear now? So these 4 points you have to remember carefully. And the last observation, what they have made for different metals, if you take the fourth graph, for different metals, the photoelectric current is different. Here, to understand that, I will consider the variation between retarding potential or the stopping potential. We will consider stopping potential versus frequency. We will consider stopping potential versus photoelectric current or frequency nu. Frequency we will consider. If you increase the frequency at a particular frequency below which there is no photoelectric effect, already told. So that is what threshold frequency. So at threshold frequency only photoelectric current can be occur. Again, further if you increase the frequency, the stopping potential goes on, increases linearly. So this is for metal 1. Metal 1. If you take another metal, the same observation can be obtained with a different saturation value. I mean different nu naught I will consider. Nu naught 1 and this is nu naught 2. So what is nu naught here? Threshold frequency. This is the minimum frequency below which no photoelectric current. So no photoelectric current means there is no need of stopping potential. So if you increase the frequency, the stopping potential is also increases linearly. Because stopping potential means if the energy is higher, so higher energy is required to stop the electron. So whatever the electron is emitted, if they have a higher energy, so to understand how much they have higher energy, so indirectly we can use the opposition potential, what is called retarding potential. If you increase the negative potential, so the quantity of negative potential is directly proportional to what? Whatever the energy of light emitted, energy of electrons emitted from the metal surface. If they have higher energy, we require higher negative potential. If they have lower energy, we require lower potential. That is the thing. So that's why. So if the frequency increases, the emitted electrons is also having higher energy. So that's why the stopping potential is also increases linearly. So this is the thing. Then this is for metal 2. It means for different metals, they have different threshold frequency. So what is threshold frequency? This is the minimum frequency below which no photoelectric effect. Again, if you increase the frequency, stopping potential increases linearly. So these are all the observations made experimentally to understand photoelectric effect. So to explain whatever the observation are made with the help of wave concept, it is failed. So with the help of wave concept, we can easily explain interference of light, diffraction of light, and also polarization, isn't it? By using electromagnetic concept, electromagnetic wave concept. So because the concept of wave, see the meaning of waves, you know that in the wave concept, energy is directly proportional to intensity. So that is the thing now, energy is nothing but intensity. So I already told, if I go close to the fire, so what happens? Source of fire. So if I move close to the source of fire, the intensity of heat I can feel it is increases. It means the intensity increases means the energy is also increases according to wave nature of light. If I consider light as a wave, How the intensity can vary with energy? If intensity increases, the energy is also increases. This is according to wave concept. So if I consider the same thing to understand this photoelectric effect, suppose if I consider the electrons, you know that all metals contains large number of free electrons. So with this experimental observation, we have observed one more thing for next quantity, that is instantaneous process. So the meaning of instantaneous process is very quick process. When light incident, immediately the photoelectric current is observed. That is the thing what we observe. Experimental. Right. If we are considering lower intensity or higher intensity, it is in matter of the time lapse. Isn't it? Immediately photoelectric effect can take place. It won't take too much of time. So if they are below threshold frequency, no photoelectric effect. So if I consider above threshold frequency, there should be a photoelectric effect. It is very fast and very quick. That's why it is instantaneous process. So with the help of this wave concept, if I want to explain all these phenomena, what we observed with related to photoelectric effect. So when the wave is incident on this metal surface, what happens? So these energy intensity will equally spreads to all the electrons. Since these electrons are very large in number, so the sharing quantity will be very less. To remove the electron, we have to supply a light for very long time. So very long time, and then the electron will acquire sufficient energy and it will come out from the metal surface. So it is again as the experimental observation. See, once the light incident, immediately electron will come out. According to wave concept, if the light is incident as a wave, so the electrons will acquire an energy equally because it contains large number of free electrons. So what happens to acquire an energy? So we have to supply a light for very long time, isn't it? Then the electron will come out. According to this wave concept I am telling, isn't it? So according to this wave knowledge of energy is directly proportional to intensity. If I want to increase the intensity, we have to supply a light for long time, isn't it? So but experiment says that it is a very fast process. Once the light incident, immediately it come out. So that's why this wave theory fails to explain photoelectric effect. According to the knowledge of energy is directly proportional to intensity according to wave concept, because energy is continuous according to wave knowledge. But that fails to explain the instantaneous process. That's why later on in 1905, Einstein has explained this photoelectric effect on the basis of the quantum nature of light. It means light is treated as particle. So with that, he has successfully explained the photoelectric effect. So I want to tell one of the important question here. So whatever the experimental observation made, that has to be listed separately. So that list of experimental observation here in this topic, we name it as laws of photoelectric effect. So laws, LAWS, laws of photoelectric effect. So 5 marks, very important question. So in the examination, write the laws of photoelectric effect, they will ask. So just very simple. So all 5 experimental observation you have to write. So what is the first experimental observation? I already write that one. This is the first observation now. Variation of photoelectric with the intensity of light, linear. So for a given photosensitive material, so this is what the photoelectric current versus the intensity. So intensity versus photoelectric current I will consider. So for the given, first law I will take the laws of photoelectric effect. I will take the first law of photoelectric effect. So for the given photosensitive material, at constant frequency and constant potential difference. Here first law, frequency and the potential difference is constant. Clear now? So frequency and for the given photosensitive material at constant frequency and potential difference, the photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity. This is the first law of photoelectric effect. I will go for the second law of photoelectric effect. So with the help of these two, I want to write the second law of photoelectric effect. See, what is second law of photoelectric effect? For the given photosensitive material, saturation current is directly proportional to intensity of light. But the intensity is independent of what? Stopping potential. It means stopping potential is independent of intensity of light. So this is the second statement. So what is the second statement? See, saturation current is directly proportional to intensity, but stopping potential is independent of intensity. This is the second statement. So I want to repeat first and second once again. For the given photosensitive material, at constant frequency and constant potential difference, the photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity of light. So this graph. Here which is constant? Frequency and potential difference is constant. So which is variable? If I increases, the photoelectric current is also increases. It means the photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity. What is the second statement? With the help of these two, I want to explain. Saturation current. So before that, we have to tell like this. For the given photosensitive material, saturation current is directly proportional to intensity, but stopping potential is independent of intensity of light. So come to the next statement. Statement number 3, third one. With the help of these two only, I will consider. See, stopping potential. For the given photosensitive material, the stopping potential is directly proportional to frequency. But the frequency for saturation current, frequency is independent. So, saturation current is independent of frequency, but the stopping potential is directly proportional to frequency. So then what happens here? Saturation current is independent of frequency. This is the third statement. So and I will go for in the third statement itself, I will consider there is a threshold frequency. There is a minimum frequency below which there is no photoelectric effect. And the fourth statement is for the given photosensitive material, the photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. It means very quick process. So these are all the 4 laws of photoelectric effect. So I will state once again. The first law of photoelectric effect is for the given photosensitive material at constant frequency and constant potential difference, photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity of light. The second statement is for the given photosensitive material, saturation current is directly proportional to intensity, but stopping potential is independent of intensity. Clear now? Here, third statement, saturation current, stopping potential for the given photosensitive material, stopping potential is directly proportional to frequency, but saturation current is independent of frequency. Here, threshold frequency states that a minimum frequency below which no photoelectric effect, above which there is a photoelectric effect. And the last statement is photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. So these are all the 4 statements you have to remember carefully. Right? So here the thing is very important. This is the photosensitive plate, emitter plate, and this is the collector plate, and this one is the potential difference. Initially, if this is positive and this is negative, this is P and this is C. When a light is incident, this is inside the glass chamber, you know that photoelectric effect takes place, the electrons will come out. these electrons can start moving from here to here. If this is 0, if they have sufficient energy to reach from here, they can reach, and there is a photoelectric current in the circuit, microamps. If this electron is not capable to reach from here to here, to move the electron from here to here, we have to supply a positive potential. So that potential is collector potential difference. So if the electron is already reached from here to here, no need of this. Certain electrons can reach without the external potential difference. They can already reach. That's why these things I will write. Even at zero potential, there is some current. Clear now? Even at zero potential, there is current. Those electrons have sufficient energy to reach from here to here while when it is emitted. So these are all the things we have to explain, isn't it? But with the help of wave nature, it is not possible to explain the photoelectric effect that I already told. According to wave nature, the intensity is directly proportional to, the energy is directly proportional to intensity. Energy depends on intensity. With the help of energy dependence on intensity or wave concept, we cannot explain the instantaneous process, and these things we cannot explain. That's why in the year 1905, Einstein take this as a challenge, and he has successfully explained the phenomenon of photoelectric effect by using a new theory called quantum theory. So in the next video, I am going to explain about the photoelectric effect explanation by using Einstein's concept. Clear? So today's class, in this class, whatever the things I explained, they are very important for the examination. So the first thing is I was explaining the experimental study of photoelectric effect. The second thing is the variation of photoelectric current with intensity. Third one is the variation of photoelectric current with potential difference. And the next one is variation of photoelectric current with frequency. And the last one is variation of photoelectric current with different metals. So later on, so these experimental observations are collectively called as laws of photoelectric effect. That was already listed separately. That is a separate question they are going to ask. So in the examination, they will ask, write the laws of photoelectric effect. They have to, here they have to write, you have to write the 4 points. The first point is, for the given photosensitive material at constant frequency and constant potential difference, the photoelectric current is directly proportional to the intensity of light. The second point is, for the given photosensitive material, the saturation current is directly proportional to intensity, but the stopping potential is independent of intensity of light. The third point is, for the given photosensitive material, the stopping potential is directly proportional to frequency, but the saturation current is independent of frequency. There is a minimum frequency below which there is no photoelectric effect. The last point is, the photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. Clear now? So with that, I am going to end this session of class. So this is the very important session. So thank you for watching this video.